So Shane Mosley did an interview with Blue Blood today, and if I put this video out today, or I might put it out tomorrow or whatever, right? And he said some interesting things, but it made me think: is this man losing brain cells, amnesia, dementia? I'm trying to figure out some things here, but there is some truth, and there is some bias, and there's some false statements. All right. So now I want people that believe in Floyd, and I want people that who hate Snack and Vada and have a conspiracy. And I want, if there's both of y'all mixed together that feels that Floyd never did anything wrong and got never failed a test, right? And also bias against Vada and Snack and Victor Conte, right? And if y'all all bunched up in one, I want to see how this works, okay? And, you know, Mosley says some interesting things, but he also says some false things, and he blamed it on Vada, on the test with him and Mayweather. Now, if I could recall, Mayweather and Shane Mosley got tested by who? Well, let's go into it right now, right? But I'm going to let you hear this man talk about the test and so on, and I'll give you my opinion on the outcome of some of his statements, his false statements. There's some truth to it, and Vada had nothing to do with them. So I'm going to show you this proof right here. Come on.
We say these things, right? But I don't see in what area, if Victor Conte is helping Devin, right, per se. If he's, I'm not
saying he's helping Devin, but I'm just saying that he's they're part of the same system. He might not be giving Devin anything, but I know he does Snack with him. And Snack, everybody with Snack has the opportunity to get stuff from Victor Conte, which we know he can get. He does stuff. He knows how to get to the line. It's what Colin was saying. The Charlie brothers was saying. He knows how to get to the line of the steroids, whatever it is, right? Because he is the master of that shit. I know, right? I went to him thinking that he was doing regular shit, but he's really the steroid master. Okay? So, all I'm saying is that everybody you see with Snack can deal with him, Victor Conte, which is a known cheat. Now, Victor Conte is aligned with Vada. Do you understand? He's aligned with Vada. So just him being aligned with Vada takes Vada. So why is Vada coming as the middleman or whatever to mess with Norman and whoever else 8 times, 9 times, which is ridiculous? Is what I'm trying to tell you.
So do you feel like when you went to him, he manipulated you?
Of course he did. Of course. He manipulated everybody else around him. Listen, I just said this. I forgot who else said. I fought Floyd. Floyd did the Vada, right? I tested like 8, 9 times, taking my blood and all that stuff. He failed his A test with me. Floyd did? Yeah, and passed the B test. Yeah, with Vada. But they don't have to mention the A test because he passed the B test. But this is why they're not doing IVs anymore, because they can flush it out.
Right.
Right? So that's why they don't do IV. They try to do IVs because they can flush it out. But I think Floyd got through with the thing because of his hand, he said. His hand was messed up, so I get steroids in his hand. So that's where steroids came from, they say. Understand? This is what I'm trying to say.
I definitely wasn't aware of that.
I know you wasn't.
Yeah, I wasn't. That's what I'm saying.
All right, so we're going to show you the proof that brain cells is diminishing, and, you know, dementia might be setting in with Shane Mosley. I'm not sure, but I am positive that it was not Vada that tested Shane Mosley and Floyd. The truth with maybe Floyd did fail his A sample and pass his B sample and cover it up and said, with an IV and cover up and said, yeah, because of my hands and I had to use some kind of, right? Maybe there's some truth to that, right? Because as we seen with Manny Pacquiao, he got popped by Usada taking an IV in his arm. All right, so there's some truth to this, but Shane Mosley has some bias, and he I think he got it in for Vada and Snack, Victor Conte, because he just accused of Vada and Snack that Vada tested Floyd and Shea Mosley. And right here it says Floyd Mayweather and Shea Mosley will begin the United States Anti-Doping Agency. That's not Vada, that's Usada. Gold standard anti-doping program on March 22nd. That's on the money as they continue to prepare for Mayweather versus Mosley. Something's not tight here. But if you hear him say Mayweather failed his A test and they stop IV or whatever, this sounds like he did an IV not once but twice. Not once but twice. One for Mosley, right? And one for Manny Pacquiao. So Floyd Mayweather been doing some stuff, man. And if he failed that, well, do we believe him or do you want to believe that Vada? Now this is it. Do you want to believe him or do you want to believe that Vada tested him? Which one? Pick your bias, dog. Pick your bias. Yeah. Let me know which one you want to trust from Shea Mosley. So is there some truth? Because I'm showing you proof that it wasn't Vada. Now, I want you to go to Blue Blood. Go subscribe to him. You know, even though he's biased with certain things like Manny and, you know, certain things, you know, it is. Everybody's got to do what they got to do in this boxing community, man. And we're going to go back and forth with it. And that's the way it is, man. So if Goat Mouth is chewing while he's doing this interview, just deal with it, right? So now I'm saying to myself, which one do you want to believe? Because I'm showing you proof that Usada did the test. And I want you to watch the whole video of Blue Blood because Shea Mosley did not just say, what the fuck, man? We go on the fuck on. All that blowing the horn. Mosley did not just say it once, but he said it twice that Vada tested them. So I'm really thinking it's this man brain cells. It's fucking going, or is he delusional, or dementia, or Alzheimer's is setting in? Because how do you can't remember Usada from Vada, right? And see what happens when you're so biased. And I don't know where he's getting his information from. If you look at the whole context of the video, he's talking about what Ryan Garcia said. I'm pretty sure he watches Manager Marty all fucking day. That motherfucking skunt. That's another fucking skunt. I don't like that man. I don't like that dude, yo. Fuck Manager Marty. Fuck you. Fuck your bitch ass, man. Yeah, so let me get back, man. So he's saying that Vada tested them. Vada was not stepping on the scene at that time. It was Usada, right? And he said that, see now, I remember Mosley and, if I can remember, Mosley and Mayweather was May 1st of 2010. And, you know, I didn't know. Now, if I'm biased, but see, I have truth to my bias because I'm going to put it on here too, just in case you think it's coming out my mouth. I don't like doing things coming out my mouth and saying, he said this and he said that. I'm going to show you proof that, again, in my videos, I always keep this, like platinum, like gold. So when your ninja starts saying, yeah, he never took an IV, I'm going to show you the clip at the end of the video. But that's showing you that LB is giving Mayweather excuse why he took the IV. And now Shea Mosley is saying he failed his A sample. Listen to what he said. But he's trying to say Vada tested him, but it's Usada. So I'm connecting the dots with Usada, not once, but twice, with the TUE, right? Because if you fail your A, but you pass your B, we're not going to talk about the A. This is what Mosley said. And Blue Blood and the other brothers like, man, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. But this man has so much bias for Victor Conte because he was dealing with Victor Conte. And he said in that full, please go to Blue Blood and subscribe to him and watch the video, right? Because this is what's showing me my proof of what I've been saying. And I'm not fucking crazy, yo. And it's saying that Usada tested Mayweather and he got popped not once but twice dealing with an IV because Mosley said, yeah, He passed the B because of the medication. It was a steroid for his hand. You know when Manny Pacquiao was asking for, I forgot the name, but it was approved by Vada, and Usada. But for some reason, they didn't want to give him that shot in his shoulder, right, to numb it or whatever before the fight. But what this man's saying, that's all assumption. I'm just saying this, but this is what they said, okay? But I hate saying things like this, but this is what they said. Manny Pacquiao team, they wasn't notified about the IV until late in camp. This is all recorded, okay? So I'm not going to make a big deal out of that, but I'm going to make a big deal out of this. Because this is not the first TUE, it's the second TUE. And this is not the first IV, this is the second IV, all right? And Usada was all behind it, not Vada, okay? So I'm saying to myself, man, if Shea Mosley saying the reason why he failed his A is because he took something for his hands, because he was frail, and it was a steroid, but it wasn't really a steroid to help his performance, right? It was just a steroid for his hand. Well, he failed the A sample. It wasn't approved from Vada, but you could flush that out because IVs are masking agent. Yes, IVs are masking agents of vitamins, minerals, and saline. Yeah, so this is what's going on. So now there's more proof in the pudding, Mr. Blue Blood. Mr. Blue Blood talking about Manny Pacquiao is scared of needles. And guess what? In the context of Blue Blood's video, there was something that Mosley did say about Conte is with Vada, and he's the president. He said a whole lot of false shit, right? Mark McGoodman is the president. Until something else changed, but he's not the president. He's a counselor, right? So he was trying to say that since Victor is with Vada, they could test Brian Norman numerous of times, like 8 or 7 times more than Devin, because Devin's with Snack and there's a bias and blah blah blah. And you see, when Manny Pacquiao was Usada and Mayweather was Usada, and he got a TUE Mayweather, and they didn't notify Manny Pacquiao team. Usada did not notify Pacquiao's team until probably 3 weeks after that incident with him taking the IV in his house, violating Vada, and Usada, all the Wadas, right? So when he's trying to say there's a bias where one person could get tested numerous of times, but we're not sure if Devin's going to get tested that way, right? And this is what's going on, what he's saying about Brian Norman getting tested 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. And then a boxer could say, wait a minute, man, that could affect my health and me being weak in a fight. And testing me, some people could put it in context like Manny Pacquiao could say, man, I'm scared of needles. Not to say he's scared of needles because he got a tattoo. He just said, I'm scared of needles, taking a needle, drawing blood right before, 2 days before the fight, or blah, blah, blah. And I heard Charlo said it too. And one of his interviews, yo, man, they keep testing me over and over again. Like, what the hell, bro? Like, yo, man, it's making me weak, right? So it's in the context, and that's why I said go to Blue Blood. And you'll hear Shane Mosley say these things where, well, if there's a bias and Victor is with Snack and Snack is with Vada, and they could give a bias and say, let him get so-and-so and so. But remember, Vada's with the clean boxing program, Vada's standalone. This is what I was saying. And also, when they do the sampling and they draw blood from the vein, right, into vascular or whatever, right, IV into vascular, and they draw it, they seal it. But then this man's saying, well, he can unseal it and, do something with it. This is what Shea Mosley's trying to say, some shit like that. Or he could interfere or tamper with the A sample or the B sample. But that's not true, because once it's sealed by official, right, it goes straight to a WADA official lab. Okay? So once that needle hits that blood and it gets sucked up and it's sealed, right? And it goes to an official lab. Now, whatever this man's saying, he has a lot of bias, and he's listening to Ryan Garcia. He just said that in that thing. Look at the whole context. He said, this is what Ryan Garcia said. And I'm sure he listened to that fucking cunt manager Marty. Go on, keep going. A lot of discrepancies within that whole video. But he said something about Devin. And see, this is what I'm saying. You're saying one thing out your neck about Victor Conte and what he could give you, because you're going back to where he gave you the clear. And you're saying, well, I never got popped. It's just that so happened I did my testimony about Snack and Victor Conte, and I told them, but I never got popped using clear that Victor Conte give you. So you're trying to say that Devin Haney, Clarissa Shields, Terrence Crawford, Mario Barrios, what's the other one? Boots, even though you like to say, oh, he only did one time. He only did one time, right? And a lot of other fighters. This is what this man's saying, but at the same time, he's trying not to say it. That doesn't mean that I'm trying to say that he gave Devin anything. No, listen to the whole video, dog. But I'm just nitpicking what I could take out, which is more important to me, is that this man said he did get popped with me. With the A sample. He did get popped with me. Right? And there was some kind of discrepancy with the A. The B cleared up. The B. And I think it's the same sample. A and B is the same sample. I don't know, but there's a lot of discrepancies going on here, man. But I can see the bias within Mosley, because he's trying to say Vada did all of this. And Vada did not do anything with you, brother. Not a damn thing when it came to you and Mayweather. But there could be some truth to you saying that Mayweather failed his A sample. There could be some truth, but it depends who is watching in the eye of the beholder and who wants to believe what they want to believe. But I know there's some truth to it, because he did take an IV and he got popped by Usada doing it. So if this man also saying that he did with his fight, that Mayweather failed his A sample and he took an IV, I'm hearing IV too much. I'm hearing it too much. Right? And what's in dark will come into light. It is what it is. So I'm not here to change your mind. I'm never here to do that. Keep your bias in your twat, in your butthole, wherever the fuck you want to keep your bias, in your mind, between your fucking cunt. I don't care. I'm fucking serious about this shit. But watch how people say things and how shit slip out. And now you got to figure out what you want to believe. And who you want to believe, right? So at the end of the day, I'm not here to change your mind, here for you to read between the lines. It's not what they say, is what they're not saying. I mix the lies with the truth and the truth with the lies. But at the end of the day, you love lies and hate the truth. People don't like truth. They don't. And everybody wants to have an illusion of, and they're delusional about what they want to believe, because it sounds good to the ear and it feels good to their emotions. So right now, look at what I showed you, proof of him saying Vada tested him, and I'm showing you proof that Usada tested him. Now, whatever you want to nitpick with what Shane Mosley's saying, you go on ahead. Now get the fuck out of my face.
Floyd, can you explain what you took after the weigh-in, the packet where you had the TUE from Usada, the fluid that you took? I was surprised that you had to take, whatever it was you took after the weigh-in that you saw that the saline solution and whatever else it was. I know you saw it, but they gave you a TUE.
I mean, with any fighter, some fighters take Pedialyte, limited nutrition.
It's a different amount.
Just rehydrate. When a fighter is I mean,
well, my question is,
you know, my urine, you know, like my urine was dark, extremely dark, darker than normal. That could be from overworking. Extremely dark.
Well, let me just say, the question I wanted to ask was, you're normally not struggling to make weight because you're walking.
I'm not struggling there.
So I guess, why did you have
because a lot of times what happens is that when you work, you become dehydrated. It's not that you're struggling to make weight. It's just he pushes himself so hard. You got to remember. I'm a lot older now. Yeah, and you got to remember too is that we're going down through. He's going down through the drug testing. You know, so he's working out, having to get blood taken. You know, give urine and do all this. You know, also with preparing for a fight. You know,
Bullshit.
so it was nothing out of the ordinary.
Where did you think UFC announced